Welcome to another episode of the Taste Creators Podcast. And we're here with my favorite rapper in the world,
Yes, sir.
Amir Ali. He really is my favorite
man?
rapper in the world, though.
Yeah,
It's kind of hard to compare at this point.
What's up, family?
So, I mean, what do we want to be educational since we're at Taste Creators. How long have we been working together? Like a year and some change now? Something like that. Maybe a year now.
Maybe like a year and some change, I believe. It might be going on like a year and a half.
Something like that.
You know what I mean? We creeping up on 2 years.
Yeah, because
Yeah, we in June. It's the half mark of the year, so it's like a year and a half.
I can't believe we're in June. This year flew by. But no, I want artists to get a better understanding of the artist-manager relationship, right? Because I don't know how many times I get DMs from strangers saying, hey, can you manage me? And it's like you're literally saying like, hey, will you be my bestie? You know what I'm saying? Like, because we're so tight that like, don't ask strangers to manage you. So
Yeah. I think from my perspective, as I learn more and more about the business, I looked at it like I didn't even need a manager until I had something to manage. And even when I got something to manage, I kind of had to fumble my way through to learn what was like. I look at it like it's a puzzle. So like every puzzle is different. And you need different puzzle pieces, and like
and you're always so hands-on.
Yeah, you gotta find out what works for you. But yeah, I think people here like you can go to the internet and say like, oh well, you should get a manager. You can get this kind of manager. You need a PR. You need this. You start hearing these terms and you just like, all right, well, I'm gonna go out and find one. And it's like, I think focusing on a craft and building something, because you essentially should be your first manager. You should be able to manage yourself and understand what to tell somebody. Like, hey, these are the things I need from you. So like,
because a lot of artists they look at it like I need a manager, right?
Yeah.
But it's really like I need somebody. I need some help. Like
Yeah.
I know they like
Right.
they know they need some help, but they immediately go to like I need a manager.
Yeah.
And it's like you don't always.
A lot of
need
people
that.
want somebody else to do shit for them too.
You said it. Yeah,
I can say shit.
Of course. You know me. I got a sailor trucker mouth.
Yeah, a lot of people want that, so that's a whole different ball game. I'm not really like I understand it, but I'm on something different. So like and I'm trying to build something. So
I also wanted to go into like how did this even happen, right? Because so basically it's funny because I was working with your sister.
yeah,
Right? In like 2017, 2018.
yep,
And you came through to a couple of our consults, like a couple of our sessions.
yeah.
But
yeah,
I didn't even like realize that initially because what happened was he started dropping music and freestyles. This was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And I caught wind of one of them that went viral. And I sent it to him in a DM on IG. And I was like, yo, bro, this is fire. You got to pull up to the studio. And he's like, Breeze, it's me.
Right.
I'm
yeah.
like, oh, shit. I didn't even put two and two together. But it's because my focus was on his sister at the time. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
and
Like,
at that time I wasn't really even like I was rapping, but I wasn't an artist. This wasn't a career. This was like a hobby for me.
but
at that
then
point.
a couple months in, we discovered that you had sent me emails of music.
Some music I made, yeah.
He sent me an email because he found the emails too and forwarded it to me.
Yeah,
and he
yeah,
sent me
yeah.
an email back then with multiple songs, and he was just like basically like, yo, I have these songs that I'm working on. I have a mixtape that I'm working on that I could probably use your help with. And here we are today. We just dropped that mixtape, which was High Street.
Yeah.
So it's just wild how like it came together so organically, you know?
Yeah.
And so when I did reach out to you that second time, well, the first time apparently,
Yeah.
where do we go from there? I know you came through. We started having different conversations, but I know that you had a lot of traction at the moment, and you were like getting flown out and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was a lot of shit going on around that time. I had went viral from the Kev freestyle. I had the Wake Up Call freestyle that went viral too. So, you know, the phone calls was coming in. I was meeting with everybody around that time. I came through here, or I believe. I'm not sure if we came through here first or y'all came through the studio first.
We came to the studio first.
Yeah, y'all came up there to come holler at us first on up in like Derby.
The most weed I've ever been around in my life.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, for sure. No windows open or nothing.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, similar to here, but
Yeah.
but that's when, basically. But that's when I know he played us some of the records off of High Street.
Mm-hmm.
And
Some of the
I
stuff
just
I already
remember
had.
We was blown away.
Rough draft. Yeah.
You played
And
us.
some more stuff, some different stuff that I didn't even put on the album yet, just like stuff that I've been working on. I've been working since the first go around. Like I said, I've been rapping, but I just kind of started taking the business serious. And like right before I went viral, I kind of had a conversation with myself, like, yo, are you gonna actually pursue this shit, or should I move on to do something else? And
What made you actually pursue it? Like, what made you say, like, you know what, I got something here?
I think I always knew I had something. I think it was more so just like I had to stop looking for the come up. I had to like fall in love with the journey, a portion of it. Like, and it's funny because like we talk about when I first hit you up. When I first hit you up, I was that artist. Like, yo, I need a manager. Like,
You actually didn't approach me like that, though.
But
you didn't.
that's how I'm just saying.
Right,
My thought process was like more. I was leaning more towards that. You know me now, where it's like I got a whole business. Like, I mean, I'm trying. I've studied the industry that I'm in, and back then I was green, and I think I just was looking for the come up, and that's how I looked at it. It was like, all right, well, this shit could go far. And it was like no actual, like, all right, well, how do we make this shit go far? What are the actual working parts? Who are the people that need to be involved? What things do I need to be doing on a day-to-day basis? So, you know, it's like, it's just ironically bring up that time because, you know what I mean? I think I just had a reflection moment where it was like, all right, well, actually learn what you're doing. Take your time with it. No matter how long it takes, at least find out if there's something there. And then I started doing shit, and I started finding out that, like, you know,
There's a whole other world that goes into. There's a whole bunch of stuff.
yeah, it's a whole other. But I also found out that like people consume my art. You know what I'm saying? And they want it, and they beg me for it, and they like, it's a market out there for me. Like, no matter what.
Because there is a lot of artists that are trying to push records that aren't getting any traction, right? And they keep trying to force it, when I think a part of being an artist is being very truthful with yourself, right?
Yeah.
It's like if nobody was telling you that you was dope, it's kind of like, well, maybe I'm not then, right? Like, maybe like the problem is my song, right? It's not like my marketing or just like.
Fortunately enough, I've
haters.
never had to really like deal with that. Like, you feel what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
of course not.
I've never had to really like experience that part of it. And I ain't gonna say never, because when I first started, I was nowhere near what I am today. And when I first started, it was just cool that I could rap and put words together. Like, but the skill level wasn't nowhere near. And I think as I did it more and more, the skill got better. But
practice makes perfect.
yeah, initially I wasn't like, you know, how I am now.
I feel like if somebody would have said that though, you would have pivoted. Like, you wouldn't have took it like the wrong way. The type of person you are, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think it was more so just like the people ignoring it at first. Like my homies was hype. Like, you know what I mean. The people I'm with every day, we doing freestyles and shit when we get high, and then all of a sudden now it's like, oh shit, America really rap, and it's like we was hype. But then outside of that, you know, people going around like, yo, listen to America, he could rap. And some people like, all right, yeah, whatever. They just flagged it, and they wasn't seeing a vision, and
Now
you know, I just upped the skill. Like I just in my head, even then, I knew like, all right, well, you don't really know what I'm capable of, and I think I didn't know really at the time, but I knew it was something more than what I had done for the like that sample size that they may have gotten at that time. Like so.
So then you drop that banger, Sorry Not Sorry, and then people really was like, okay,
Yeah, that
all
happened.
right, you got something.
That happened. I had made it. It's crazy. I knew from the moment we had made it. Like shout out Jay Saif. I was in the studio. I had a little moment. I was arguing with somebody on the phone. And I got off the phone. I was kind of like pissed off, and he just asked me how I was feeling, and I was like, sorry, not sorry. And then he made the beat. I was already kind of writing to something else, and I just started, like, that shit came on, and I just started writing to that. And at one point, I was like, all right, eventually you got to stop. You know what I mean? Because there wasn't no structure, so I just was literally just writing bars. And I think that's when we made it, we knew from the verse it was hot, and the beat it was hot, but then we kept, like, going back and doing little shit and tweaking, and then it just kept becoming more and more epic. And I think
That's the anthem now.
by the final product, we was all like, oh shit, it's something. And then I was going out to like open mic. Shout out to Fresh the Legend.
Shout out to
I went to
Fresh.
Fresh open mic. Ironically enough, I went to an open mic at Rec Philly right before.
You want at World Cafe?
No, they had it at the building.
Okay.
And I went in, and you know they draw from the hat, and my name didn't get picked, and I sat through the whole joint, and it was just like, all right. But I saw on Instagram it was like, oh, it's one happening on 48th Street. Let's just go there. And
Okay.
I performed Sorry Not Sorry in Cerro Avenue, or what turned out to be Cerro Avenue. But
And the response
Yeah.
was wild.
people lost their minds. Fresh cut the music in the middle of my performance. Like, it just gave people this jolt of energy. And then I kept going out to different spots. I was like out every weekend that summer 2022. And it was the same reaction everywhere.
And that's how you know you got something. You know?
Yeah, so that's how I started to realize, like, oh shit, I got consumers. Like, it would be people outside that was doing their own thing the whole time, not really paying attention to none of the artists. Then I do Sorry Not Sorry, they come inside. Everybody crowds around me. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm in an open mic setting, so it's not really a stage. I'm not performing like crazy.
It's
It's
not
kind of like, it's
separated.
intimate. Like, so people always like gravitate towards me. Once I kind of saw I had that gravity, I was like, all right, well, shit, this is something different. If I could actually hone this in or figure it out, what I'm actually doing right now, you know what I mean? Then, you know, I always was in love with freestyles growing up from different rappers, and I just was like, that's always been something I had did it before. Shout out to Mouth G's. DJ Mouth G's had a platform in 2011, I believe, called MFM Freestyles, and I went up there and did that shit for like 10 minutes and rap. And so that was always part of my, you know, my resume. So when we made Sorry Not Sorry, I was like, all right, well, fuck it, I'm gonna set up and do a freestyle somewhere. And we was thinking about platforms to do it. You know how shit is. You know what I mean? If you don't got a buzz or nothing, people
they
don't
know.
really, you know what I mean? And
Not
you
really
know,
receptive to it.
that's, everybody has their own opinion about that, but I think it's rightfully so. That's just the business of it, or the nature of it really is like, you know what I mean?
You gotta earn that
Until you
spot.
got something of value, I can't, yeah, it may be a hidden gem there, but I can't always risk it. Like, and the amount of artists that pop up now is like, I can't keep taking risks on hidden gems.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know what I mean? You got to provide some sort of value. And that's a lot of these platforms, you know, move that way. People call it payola, where you know what I mean? They try to put tax on it and get you to, but it's just a business. And I think,
It's advertising at the end of the day.
yeah, exactly.
It's social proof.
Yeah,
Because if
yeah.
you look at it, you know, I bring a lot of metaphors back to the restaurant business, don't I, Breeze?
Yes.
But anyway, if you pass a restaurant and no one's inside,
Why would you go in?
exactly. But if you see
Exactly.
that everyone wants to get, everyone needs a reservation for the place that's packed out.
Now I gotta go see what's going on.
Exactly, it's social proof.
Yep.
You know, and so if you see that, you know, places popping, I need to check that out.
Yeah, and that's how platforms and people in the business. That's how the business works sometimes. And I think at that time I just was like, fuck that. I'm gonna just go to somebody that don't really got nothing going on, and not to say that he ain't had nothing going on, because I think somebody, shout out to 10 for 10 Ken, I think he had just got 1 million views on Twitter for his freestyle that he had posted like a few months before me going up there, and I linked with my man at the wake up call, and I
went crazy.
Yeah, shout out to Kurt. I went viral doing that. Cosmic Kev saw it. A bunch of people saw it. A bunch of celebrities reached out to me when the freestyles went viral. At the time, I'm still developing as an artist, and my mind was like, all right, well, I'm using these freestyles to direct attention to, so I can sell records and build a fan base, right? So I always knew that, but the freestyles kind of just went like crazy.
Yeah, they sure did.
That was the focus for a little minute, and I think I did that freestyle. I did another wake up call freestyle,
and that's
that
when you were
went a
starting to
little
build a
viral.
following at that point.
Yeah, that's when people was like buying in, and I think then I did the Cosmic Kev freestyle, and then that's when kind of the lid was blown off, and I think I started getting calls, and people want me to come to sit down and meet with them, and
including me. I was one of those people.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But I sat down with a lot of people. Shout out to everybody that showed me love and sat down with me. I think, my idea back then was like, I'm learning, and a lot of people want this shit to happen real fast, and sometimes.
But I never rush
has to
artists.
align,
I never wanted to rush into anything. You know what I'm saying?
And then some artists are ready right then and there. It's like it's just how you align. And I think I just went down the list of people, and you know what I mean. I carved out the people that I feel like fit my puzzle. You know what I mean, and that helped me be successful and maintain and gain and continue to grow. Where it's not like, we not selling out. And I don't really want to say selling out or selling your soul, but it's not attention based. It's intention based. We more so believe in the product so much that it's like a lot of the shit that you have to do to get attention. We bank on the product being so good that it's
you
like,
can't ignore it.
when we could just put this shit out on the street for and it's going and it spreads, and it's like we find organic ways to get the shit around the people. You know what I mean? The product. And I think we continue to build on that, and we just, add a little sauce on top. We gonna wind up figuring out how to get our own machine to work and operate. And then that's when I'll be ready to sit down and talk business with other people and partner and do all kinds of shit.
Because I remember initially we had we were having great conversations.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's what it started out as.
Yeah, it started off of like, you got to build that relationship. You know what I'm saying? You can't rush into anything. You'll have some labels or managers, whatever, that are trying to like rush you into something, right? And make it seem like you gotta rush into it. You know what I'm saying? Make it seem like it's urgent. And I never like to have that approach, because I like everything to be organic as possible.
Yeah.
And I feel like what we started doing was, that's when we did the concert. We did Welcome to High Street.
Yeah.
We were like, let's execute something together. You know?
Yeah.
And that was dope. That was a moment.
Major, man. That was my first put together event for real. And I wanted to create it and make it special, and we got together with the team. The team had expanded massively that day, and I think we put something great.
But like organically, like we didn't plan that, right?
Yeah,
Even
exactly.
Yoni, shout out to Yoni behind the boards over there.
Yeah.
Like, you brought him and Uni through because they were doing the stage.
Yeah.
And I had met Yoni before at like World Cafe Live, and I knew Uni already. So that was just a cool, you know what I'm saying, reconnection. Yeah, he's still here. We can't get rid of him now.
Yeah.
And then like, your team that you already had meshed very well with our team as well. Because that is a big deal, right? It's like, your team needs to be able to communicate, right?
Yeah.
Everybody has to be on one accord. They have to be on the same page.
Yeah, and I'm big on that, because it's not perfect, my team. And I think that the bigger the team gets, the more you have to manage like, you know, people are like all the time. You never really know where they are on a day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year basis. Like, and I think, you know, you got to deal with people's feelings and emotions and their thoughts and opinions, and I think you got to figure out. The thing is, like, make sure you have a goal so that way you know, all right, well, I can now figure out what the steps are to obtain this goal, to get to this goal. And it's like, I may need team members in place in order to get there. What are the best who are the best people for the role that I need? And I think that I've been learning that over this last year that we've been working together, because, you know what I mean, you know, we much stronger now than we were
for sure.
a year ago. And I think as time goes on, we're going to get much better. But I think, like, I'm constantly thinking about that. It's like, all right, well, maybe I should change this, or maybe we should approach this a different way, or maybe, like, all right, so what can I do? How can I be better in order for everybody else to step up? How can I be more clear and direct about what I need from people, so that way, you know, everybody can understand what their role is.
Well, you're the artist, right?
Yeah.
So that's what artists also have to understand, is that, like, he runs the show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
as an
yeah.
artist, you're the leader of your team.
Yeah.
It's not the other way around.
Yeah,
it's
you're
not
not-
like I'm gonna get a manager and now I'm gonna just chill. and
Yeah,
make the
yeah.
music.
Like I said, some people want everybody to do everything for them, but then expect everything.
The less you
on
do,
back
the less
end.
you own.
Exactly, and that's where the dilemma happens. So I think that it depends on you, your character as an artist, and what you see your career and, you know, your life as, because some people will just hitch the ride.
Yeah.
And, like,
But it took us some time, so we
other
executed.
people get in the car and drive 14 hours. You know what I mean? I'm like, come on, everybody. You know what I mean? Get in the car. Like,
I think that was definitely a dope part about it, though. Like you were about to say, like it was services. It was, you know, like we had a shoot.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You had some info, and then it was, let's see how we work together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Before it
we
was hop in.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
like
we
dating.
executed that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah,
is.
yeah,
It
yeah.
really is.
Every relationship needs that time to build.
Well, you gotta
Because
see how you work together.
Yeah, if you don't work on and in the relationship, then you can't be mad at how the relationship falls
Mm-hmm.
apart. And I think that, like, especially in business, is very important. Like, your network is your net worth, and I think you know, communication is the
Real
key.
big.
Not everybody speaks the same language, even if you do speak the same language. You know what I mean? Don't let that go over your head. I think, like, you know what I
love
mean?
it.
You
I
gotta
love it.
be considerate of the person you are talking to, and
Different
as a leader, I
personalities.
think I always think about, like, damn, well, if I'm not getting the result I want, I must not be pressing the right buttons. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, you
Like,
always look at
out
yourself
of
first. Like,
me
how do
and
I-
everybody.
What
It's
role
like,
did I play?
yeah,
in
exactly.
this
It's like,
outcome?
I know this person can do what I'm asking, because what I'm asking is not, this shit not rocket science.
Yeah.
We not fucking crunching numbers and fucking mixing chemicals. We not doing that.
Yeah.
We making art, and we figuring out how to,
Getting it to the people.
exactly. That's it. And it's like simple processes, but it can become complex mixed together with all the wrong shit. And I think it starts with me. And then, you know, I was able to, you know, find y'all and add Taste Creators to my puzzle piece. Shout out to everybody at Crown Gold. Shout out Siani. Shout out Fresh. And shout out everybody else that's a part of the team that's like external pieces, because
It takes
all
a
of that
village.
shit matters. Like,
It takes
all
a
of that
village.
shit matters. Like, even to the people that don't think that they are part of it and may have done something, or it's like, I appreciate
We
every
appreciate
little
it
piece
all.
of it, because this is, to me, this is some shit that I made up in my head years ago that I'm living out. Everybody else may have their own dreams and thoughts about it, but it's like, for me to be gaining success, it's like every day is like, I keep reminding myself, like, damn, like, I was really like thinking about this shit back in the day when I was doing something completely different, some shit I didn't have no business doing.
What I love too, like what I really respected, and I don't know if I ever told you this, but what I really
Yeah.
respected was when we worked together for a little bit. we did the show,
Yeah.
and then you literally, we were here, and you sat us down. You got all the crown gold, and you sat us down right here and was like, all right, gang, like, let's be a team. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I just thought that was, I was honored, honestly, at that point, to be because I'm a fan first at the end of the day. That's why I reached out, because I'm a fan. You know what I mean?
Sharing your shit in the group chat.
Oh, yeah, all day long.
Yeah.
So what made you do that? Like, what do you look for, or what made you say, like, all right, I'm comfortable with this?
I was doing trial runs, and I think that relationships are a dance. So, like, you may work with someone for X amount of years, and you'll build this great thing, but not all relationships are meant to be forever. And I think that that's my approach to it. Is like, I'm going based off of where I'm at and what I need in the moment. And it's like, when I see things that fit the puzzle piece, sometimes I might be wrong and I might put something somewhere it don't belong, and then I gotta adjust. You know what I mean? But I'm always thinking about it. I'm always on it. So, like, there's not a lot of room or time for, things to go sour. So in my mind, when I'm looking for somebody, it's just like, all right, well, I might see a trait or a characteristic that I was like, all right, well, I can deal with that to get to where I'm trying to go. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how I approached it. I think that I was open to people. I had a few options, a few people that I was building with, that I'm still building, that I still got relationships with. You know what I mean? That we work with to this day. Like, I was considering a few different people to be a part of my immediate team, but I think I like how we executed the show. And yeah, I think
we always communicated well.
Yeah, that's a big part.
That's a big
really
part of
well.
why what made me want to work for real, because, like, when I call you, you pick up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And not just that, like, we be on the phone, like, we'll have our moments, especially when we're really executing something. Like, when we were rolling out High Street, like, getting that ready to roll out, I was calling him every day. Like, he was my first call of the day.
I slept here.
Yeah.
I slept here.
Yeah, to get the project done.
So it's like,
but like, that's so, like, communication, my team will tell you, like, communication is one of my biggest things. Like, that is so important, because how are we going to get anything done if we are not actively communicating?
Yeah.
Because there's so much that goes into what we're doing, and putting out a project, and, like, you just did a whole session with Drew, a performance coaching session.
Yes,
like,
sir.
Artists don't be thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to go on tour. All artists want to go on tour and perform for these big crowds. But, like, if you never did a 45-minute or an hour set, you know what I'm saying, you're going to run out of breath song 3.
Yeah.
So it's like,
a lot of people not worried about the quality. And I think when you got something that's already good, to where as though we got this belief where it's like, all right, well, we know this shit so good, we don't gotta put it in a pretty package. We could just fucking put it on the street.
it's already pretty.
You know what I mean? It's like, we got something already. You want to continue to pour into it to make it,
Of course.
to shine it the best, though. Sometimes you don't have to, but in some people, that's the people that's like attention over intention. They want the fast attention to facilitate something else. Somewhere they looking for to come up. It's just about the quickness of it. Like, how fast can I turn this into something else? How fast can I flip this? And I think it's just about, I don't even knock that. Like, I don't really knock the hustle of the artists who are hustling the game.
It's a business.
Or the people that encourage the hustling of the game.
That is business, but I wouldn't call them true artists then in that regard.
Right, exactly. You just a businessman.
Like, would you call
Users.
right? Would you call someone who learned how to paint just to flip it an art. You know, you wouldn't call. You're not.
Exactly.
You know, you're not. You wouldn't call any other type of artist that.
Well, I also think
If they're just doing it to flip it, you know, so it's the same thing. But like,
well, you also have to think about longevity, right? It's like,
Well, that's what I was gonna
how
say.
long do you want to actually be here? Do you want to have
a
a
true
career
artist
that
is actually
lasts?
about their art and wants to make a career out of it and wants to make a sustainable, long-lasting career. You know, and that's doing it the right
And
way.
that basically was the switch that I flipped. It was like, all right, how do I make this for real?
But that translates into the business because, all right, someone who they got something hot going on, they can sell out the tour once.
Yeah.
But as soon as everyone sees how shitty they are, good luck selling that tour again.
Exactly.
So it affects the business in the long term.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but that quick attention, they don't give a fuck about that. They not
Well, then
even.
you
they
better
can't-
bank and flip it and get out of it, hit it and quit it once, or because if you try and repeat,
Yeah.
the quality isn't there, and people can tell. People don't want to pay money for shit, especially not twice. They'll say, "All right, you got me once," but like, if you do it,
fool me
fuck
once,
you
shame
twice.
on you.
You know.
Yeah.
So what made you? Because the typical route, especially with a lot of the artists in Philly, right? They want to get signed. Right?
Yeah.
It's like, let me put out a record, let me get some attention. Who gonna sign me, right?
Yeah.
And then that's how a lot of artists get caught up in the bullshit. What made you say, you know what? I'm getting these offers, but like, let me chill for a bit.
Because I didn't know what getting signed mean.
I love that.
And I think we got expectations of it, but I've seen enough. You know what I mean? I'm
Seen enough horror story.
I'm grateful for the people that came before me. You know what I mean? Because I'm learning. I'm like, I'm not about
that
to
sound a little weird.
and I'm just that kind of person. Like, I'm not really a fake it till you make it person. I think certain situations call for certain things, right? So that may work in some situations. I don't think with music is one of those things. So I'm not about to act like I know what the fuck I'm talking about and I don't, or that I know what you talking about.
Yeah.
And I don't because I'm afraid of this window of opportunity closing on me. I think that as long as I got my limbs and my freedom and I'm in my right mind, I can always make money off of music. There's a market for me, and that's what I kind of discovered. And it's like, that's what my goal is. So I want to get signed.
To the right deal, though.
I want to know what I'm signing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because, and the music industry has all these terms and phrases and nostalgic things. You sign and you give your mom the big house and you take her to the house. It's these nuances in the industry that make it different than any other business. It's like if I was fucking selling T-shirts, you know what I mean? I might not have the T-shirts that are hundreds of dollars, but I might have the T-shirts that I gotta go fucking print up real fast and go stand outside the stadium and sell. But it's about turning a profit and building and expanding. Maybe I get to that point later on. But I
So the
think
lesson is basically hopefully this is good, but don't rush into shit. that you
yeah,
ain't ready
not
for.
not business
And
and
that
be
you
and
don't
be okay
understand.
with not getting the result that you want. I think if some people call it failure, but we also say that failure is one of the steps to success. So it's like I don't like to call it failure or success. It's really just a journey. It's like you gotta build the
It's a big
character
lesson.
to get ready for the moment that you need to be successful. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like
And nowadays,
that's how I look at it.
as an artist, you really truly are a small business, right? You're
Yeah.
as an artist, you're an entrepreneur, and the artists that embrace that are always gonna thrive, right?
Just and that goes back into the whole I need a manager thing. If you just opened up, a restaurant, a law firm, a legal office, and you were the owner, would you hand it over to a general manager
Immediately?
immediately
And not know how to
not
run
know
the
how
business.
to run it, and you trust
That's a
and
great
and you
analogy.
trust it to this brand new person? So even if on the off chance that it does work the fuck out,
Right,
you've
exactly.
abdicated so much power, like Breezy said, that guess who the staff is loyal to?
Exactly.
Not you, this
And
other
guess how much
person.
you own.
Right.
You don't- now you
and even if you
own
do
a
own the
tiny
building
piece of
and
it.
the equipment, let's say you do technically own everything, but they want to quit, guess who's following that general manager to the next business? All your staff. So now you have so you might own the building, but you don't have any human capital to make it work.
Exactly.
So like you said, they're an entrepreneur. You would not.
Yeah.
You have to be. If you like back to the restaurant thing, you gotta know your menu. You gotta be willing to cook. You gotta be willing to do the
Yeah.
dishes if need be. You gotta be willing to serve. You gotta be the host. You gotta
You
until
gotta
you
learn
get to
how to
that
run
point,
that motherfucker
and you
before
find the
you
right
ask somebody
person
else to
who
do it.
then you trust that
Yeah.
isn't gonna rip
'Cause
you
he's
off,
very
steal all your
hands-on.
shit. Yeah.
Like, he wants to know how to do
And-
everything.
right.
And
Yeah.
he's on my ass, like, yo, Breeze, what does this mean? Or, like, you know what I'm saying? He'll ask me very amazing questions about things. Like, that's, and this is turning into the How Much Breezy Loves Amir show. But,
Yeah.
I mean, it's the truth, though. It's like, you know, because there's so many artists that just don't understand that aspect.
Right, you would
of-
not open
you run the show.
any storefront business, and you're gonna be there at least first couple years at least, probably at least 6 days a week. Like
Figure out what it is you need,
know?
what pieces you need.
Yeah.
exactly, and then you can start filling in the blanks, and then hopefully you find that right person that
Exactly.
But then you're still gonna probably be there, at least during the busy hours.
Yeah, you're still directing.
you're still gonna be
he
there.
still approves everything. You get what I'm saying? It's like,
Right.
And I think it's just about the level of care because it can work the opposite way where you don't gotta spend time on quality and care and shit like that. You don't have to. You can get there, learn on the fly, pay attention, and adapt.
And in some
make it
cases,
happen.
in some instances, that's cool. You know what
That
I'm
can
saying?
and that's what I'm saying. It's like it's all up to what your vision is, and it's like with this, I had my vision coming in to like sitting down to that conversation where it's like, all right, well, y'all, I want to work with y'all. Like I already had my vision of how I saw things working, and as things keep happening for me and doors keep opening, and my celebrity grows and opportunities come across the table, I think my vision just grows bigger and bigger, and some of the things that were confusing and blurry to me I can see clearly now. It's like, all right, well, I need this person in this spot. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that this person don't work. I gotta figure out how I can get the best value out of somebody.
I mean, we do it with our internal team. It's like sometimes you have the right people in the wrong positions, so you have to adapt. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta, because I feel like that's how business and life is too, right? It's like as you learn and you execute things, you start to see, okay, where the puzzle pieces might need to go.
Yeah.
It's not, maybe it don't fit right here. All right, cool. Let's move this around. It's a constant, like, just evolving as people and as a team. Wait, so we got we Drew, there's a shot for you too.
Oh, we're doing shots.
We're doing
Oh shit! Hold on, I need to get a
this is like a
pre-shot water.
I don't even know. This is like a double shot. I don't know if I
even
can
is it?
take this
Okay.
out.
This
It's tequila.
This is quite a shot.
Don't kill yourself. I don't kill myself. So
I'll kill you.
I don't want you to take the double shot because I'm not.
To Amir going triple, quadruple platinum.
Man, shout out to that tour coming.
That's being set up. We're working on some things. I don't want to give too much.
That's tequila. That's tequila.
Yeah, y'all gonna
alright.
see my face.
His face. That's tequila.
Yeah, it's definitely. Oh, you didn't know it was tequila. Sorry.
No. I knew it was tequila. I'm just reiterating the
I was
fact.
like, I forgot it was tequila.
what that
I
tastes
forgot it.
Tequila, right? That's that. Well.
So yeah, I don't want to give too much information away, but we are working on, setting up the show, the headlining show.
Yeah.
And I know that you guys just had a session today, performance coaching session. So I'm curious to know, what the hell did y'all talk about? Because I know you was out here doing jumping jacks and all
Push-ups
types.
and
Yeah.
shit,
Yeah.
How was that?
It was good. It was my first session with Drew. I'm sure it's gonna be more of the same.
We're gonna switch it up next week a little bit. We got more. We have a lot of topics to cover.
Yeah.
We did do a quick little session before
got-
the High Street show.
We got a lot of time too before we putting this show together. We got some potential
yeah,
dates,
y'all are
but
gonna-
yeah,
y'all
we
gonna get that
got
shit
a lot of time.
So that's why we're like working with Amir. He didn't do that artist thing where it's like, yeah, Drew, I'd love to book some sessions with you. And then Drew says, oh, when's the show? And the artist goes, oh, it's in about 4 days. and then
That
Drew's-
happens a lot.
And then
It's
Drew
tomorrow.
Gets, and then
Get me
Drew
ready
gets
for my
very
tour
annoyed.
today.
Yeah, it's tomorrow night. Oh, I've had that before, and I'm like,
Wild.
oh, cool.
Wild.
No,
Oh yeah. So that's why I like working with Amir Ali, ladies and gentlemen.
we got
This
some
is the We Love
time.
Amir show.
We got some time, man. We
saw
got
him
some
doing this
time.
before. And I know he does the thing where you like running in place and then
Yeah.
singing. How was that for you?
You gotta rap and run.
Yeah,
It was. I think it's all new to me because I've never worked out and associated my creativity with it, and I think working out
That
is.
breath control.
I think for me, in my mind, when I'm experiencing something new, especially to get where I'm trying to go, I really kind of talk. It's funny. I be joking with the guys. You know what I mean? We a little vulgar. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I be telling myself to shut the hell up. Like I really don't tap into my emotions or like whatever I'm feeling at that moment. It's more so like, yo, lock in.
I gotta do
You know what I mean? Like you might be shitty right now doing this.
But everybody
but
starts off pretty
by
shit.
the end of this, you know what I mean? You're gonna be. So I think I just was in that mindset. It was cool, like, cause I've done the workout before. I rapped the song before, so in my mind, I just was like, you know what, fuck it, let's. You know
I've
what I
seen
mean?
Drew have people run down the block.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
do
yeah.
laps.
No, I'm ready. I'm already knowing. Like I got a idea
light
of
work
like
today.
where it's gonna go because I have a vision for what my stage performance is going to be like in the future. And yeah, I'm saying, you know, I know these are just like the beginning stages, so I was just locked in. Really, that's all it was.
No, I asked because I tried that the other day.
Yeah, no,
not
it's
easy.
it's not easy at all. No.
It is
But no.
not easy.
It just goes to show that you really give a fuck about the quality that you're presenting to the world. And I think that everybody that's familiar with Amir Ali can see that clearly. I've had
Yeah.
multiple people be like, yo, it looked like he's signed already.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So, like, what
I've been
goes
hearing
into
that for a
that,
minute.
right? Because it's like when you really think back, it's a lot that went into dropping High Street. Like
Yeah.
a billion meetings, like document after document of planning, making sure everybody's on the same page, who's shooting the content, when's the deadline. Like he literally slept here for a
details.
week. Yeah, like the real details. Because a lot of artists, right? They
Yeah.
record and they focus on recording, right? And then they get
Which
it.
I actually need to do more of.
You do.
I need to do more.
But
But
they
we-
neglect everything else.
But like,
Yeah.
they're like, the project's done. Let's drop it, right? But it's like,
like, no,
then when they put it out, they think about, oh shit, how am I gonna market this? I need some content. You know what I'm
no,
saying?
it's when the recording is the project is halfway done when the recording is done. That's what I tell people. I'm like, no,
Yeah,
no,
it's
no,
not
no, no,
done
no.
yet.
The project is about you got the first big chunk of it done. Now you got to put it out into people's ears because it's that whole thing. It's the same thing that old the old saying. Well, if a tree falls in the woods and no one's there to hear it, doesn't make a sound. Well, yeah, but it's, if no one's there to fucking hear it,
May not.
it doesn't. You could have written the most brilliant song
Yeah.
in history. No one hears it. Oh,
Because you're not promoting it.
what song?
And personally, I feel like in the climate that we're in nowadays, right? Like, I don't even think that newer artists should drop projects, right?
No.
Until people want
Yeah.
the project,
There's
right?
no demand.
Because people were literally begging for this
If
project.
they not crashing out for the project,
Yeah.
you don't want to.
Right.
Yeah, because you want a song is like a commercial now. It's really a
Yeah.
commercial to you. So
Yeah.
and like if you're dropping a full body of work,
You've committed to the entire body. You've committed to a sound. You committed to all the money, all the time to put it out. But if you don't have a fan base yet, don't have the means to market it, or
It's
the
gonna be a
ability,
waste.
or the know-how to market it. Meanwhile, like Breezy's saying, if you're doing one song at a time, you get to have the feedback. You can adjust. You can tweak your sound. You can tweak how you're structuring things. You
Yeah.
can tweak the
The
production.
audience.
You can tweak how you're marketing. You can tweak you know, who you're working with. Oh, that graphic wasn't so hot. All right, let me try another guy. You know, or you know, whatever it is, you can in marketing you call it A/Bing.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, you
Yep.
can A/B it and strive for better, and you're not putting all your eggs in one basket. You
Build
know,
up to
And,
that,
like,
to that good shit.
People have been asking about the project for the last year and a half, right? But they didn't realize
Longer.
how much work went into, like, the reason why it was pushed back is because there's so much preparation that goes into releasing such a big body of work, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, at first it was 20 songs, right? We went through multiple, like...
Yeah, I've been all over the place. 11 songs, 20 songs, 22.
But I know he wanted to
think, at
give,
one
because
point.
yeah, 6 that were already out, and I know you wanted to
Yeah.
give like everybody at least like you wanted to give everybody like at least 10, 12 new songs too.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was
You all
like
right over
my
there, Yodi?
there's a nice potpourri wafting over this way. What is that?
You gotta get my boy some water.
It's like lilies and roses or something. I don't know.
The sound guy's over there coughing up a lung.
You're not doing drugs over there.
Excuse us.
Excuse
Excuse us.
We attended Dare. Thank you very much.
Oh man,
There we go.
No, my boy, you good? You good, my boy? All right, we
you
good.
So High Street. Here's the thing, like we just dropped High Street, right? And we're still like we ain't nowhere near finished
just
with High
getting
Street.
started,
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we just getting started with High Street. So everything that y'all saw recently is really just like the real organic, like here you go, we're letting everybody digest it right now. You know what I'm saying? Learn all the lyrics. But like seriously, he went through so many just like you were so focused. Like he was here every day, all day.
It's kind of weird because I'm not gonna lie, I'm just settling in. You know, I got all kinds of things that have happened in my life since we dropped High Street.
You're not gonna let them know yet?
No, I will. I'm gonna let everybody know, but it's like I think I had at first when we first dropped it, I was having withdrawal.
I couldn't believe that it was out.
It's like
At midnight, I looked at Spotify, Apple Music, and I was like, "Oh my God!"
I spent so
it's
much
here.
money and time and energy and focus on it. I almost didn't know what to do when I was done. You know what I mean? Like
didn't know what to do.
I was stuck for a second, and then like I had went through a period. I dropped the project in April. And it's funny, I had just found out, like, you know what I mean? So, this is world premiere, you know what I mean? I just found out I'm about to have my first kid.
Yes.
I'm about to have my son, you know what I mean? I found out, like, the end of March. So, like, right
Well, 'cause
before the
you
project
didn't
dropped.
tell anybody that yet.
Yeah, no,
publicly,
this
right?
is
Like,
this is the first time
fire.
I spoke about it publicly. You know what I mean? We got to talk about when it's coming out. You know what I mean? So I could do my announcement.
when it's coming out.
No, so like
No, I'm talking about the pod.
Oh, gosh.
pod, the pod.
Okay, well, I'm like, what? You talking about the baby?
The baby
It's
release.
the tequila. Don't mind me.
Yeah,
Don't
no,
mind.
no. That's we got time. We got time for that.
That's a different
no,
release date.
that's fire though.
But yeah, no, that happened. I found that out at the end of March. And I also, I spoke about it in the interview with my man Tay. Shout out to Tay. I spoke about taking care of my grandma with dementia. She had took, things had took a turn for the worse for a second. And the family had to adjust. And I think, she's doing much better now. Shout out to everybody that was, holding the family down while we was going through that tough time because it was rough. And right now we got things situated, but that. So I was coming straight off of dropping the album. I'm super happy about having a kid. My grandma goes in the hospital. She's been there for a little minute now. It's been
And
like
see, that's also
2-3 months.
a personal, like, if we're giving managerial advice, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
like, as a manager, I'm riding through all of that. It's
Right,
not
yeah.
just business, you know what I'm saying? Like, not every single call that we have or conversation is a business call.
Yeah, because that's the thing is like when you try to make humans business, like I'm a business. I'm an entrepreneur.
But you're a human. And
but I'm a human at the same time, and like the mental health part of it
is a big
the
thing.
business requires you to kind of get away from your mental health. But in order for the business to run properly, you got to take care of your mental health.
Yes,
so it's kind of like a contradiction, but it's like, you got to be.
You can only ignore it, but for so many, you know what I'm saying?
And I think, you get into the habit of not ignoring it. You got to carve out space in your day to take care of your own self. And if whatever you going through, it's really on you. You know what I mean? And, people do things and you could either be reactive or proactive. You know what I mean? And I think it's something I got from my mom. She always told me.
Shout out to Miss Kim.
Yeah, dude. You know what I mean? She told me
she's awesome.
Always to be proactive. You know what I'm saying? So if ever I've had to be reactive, I always just think like, damn, well, what could I have done? Or like if I experienced something new, it's like, all right, well, how did that even just happen? Because, you know what I mean? I got to take care of myself. I got to be the one that protects me. You know what I'm saying? So, like, in order for my business to run the proper way. So, you got to have that. And I think I had that moment right after dropping the album. But the album has been doing well.
It's been doing
and
great.
People were waiting on it. And, we had some dominoes lined up. And we knocked them down and we executed what we had set out to do. And I think, I always call you and tell you that, like, yo, damn, I want to do more. We should have done more.
He's the king of that. He's the king of reason we're not doing enough.
Yeah, like all the time. I'm like,
I have to tell him, like, bro, like, you are not Superman.
But you can't want it more than the artist. The artist always had.
Exactly. That's why I love working with him.
As someone else in the team wants it more than the artist,
it's never gonna work.
It falls apart.
Yep, it's never gonna work.
The artist must always want it.
Like
anybody else, and must always be in the lead.
It's like, make us work too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I love that. I love that.
Like
he
you said,
calls me and is like, yo, what's going on with this? We got this show off, or explain this to me. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Like,
your business, it's your career, it's, it's...
Yeah, you can never, as the artist, you can't be the, I don't know. And I don't want to know. Right? Yeah, like, you have to want to know, though.
I set up a press thing with a singer at my other employment, and who just wouldn't get back to me, and then came up to me after the show. Was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I was like, I told him, I said, don't be sorry. Don't apologize to me. This is your career.
Yep.
Right.
And yeah, you might have family things, you might have this, you might have that, but it's going to be a thing where you might have to do, a couple interviews right before the show and, press and PR and all that. And, or you can say no. You can always say no.
Right. Yeah.
But don't feel a certain way when suddenly, you Google yourself and nothing comes up.
Yeah. By the way, real quick, we could go a little bit past an hour.
Yeah, that's why I waved you.
Yeah, because I got a couple more things I want. We could go a tiny bit past an hour because I want to get into High Street just a little bit deeper too. Like, here's the thing. Like, High Street, right? I thought that High Street, when you were first telling me about it and I first heard it, right?
Yeah.
I thought that High Street was like where everything happened.
And then I thought that too, and I was like, I lived for 4 years a block from High Street up in Germantown, and I was like, Amir from Germantown in Philly? Because there's a High Street that runs all through here.
It's a couple High Streets.
Right, but High Street is in the album. He's not even talking about the Philly High Street. That's the thing. And High Street is not where he did the dirt. It's where he ended up. It's the destination.
What dirt?
Okay, he ain't do no dirt, but all the stuff that he's talking about in the project, I thought it was done on High Street, but High Street was the end of it, right?
Yeah, it's not the end, it's the beginning of the journey. And I think that, like,
it's the end of the crazy shit.
Because there was a...
and all the shit that you was talking about.
No, that's what I'm saying. And I got some storytelling to do because there is more. And there are different parts. And, I tried to bridge the gap between then and now. But there are still some details and parts that I still have to explain and talk about and make music and art about. And I think that, like, that was my intention, to
Give them some
still bridge it to right now, to where we at now, and bring it up to speed. But I'm gonna still be telling the story, and I think High Street is just the beginning. Like, it's not the end. It's the beginning of that shit. Because there's a period after High Street where things were, I don't even want to call it crazy. It's just different than what it was before. Before I was. And that's what High Street is. I'm taking you through these moments where I mature mentally throughout whatever I'm experiencing.
That's what I meant by High Street is the end, because I meant like
it's the end of that story.
Like
that's what I'm
taking
saying.
the high road.
There's
High Street.
Yes.
there's some more maturing that I did post High Street. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that is a part of my life that I cherish really. You know what I mean? Real heavy too. And I think it's more to be said.
What's your what's your favorite song about the project?
Therapy.
That's my top 3.
Therapy, yeah.
But you know what made it one of my top 3?
What?
When you told me
The story.
yes.
Yeah. So it's funny because the first verse is not about me at all. I'm speaking in that person. Like, I'm speaking from that perspective, but it's not actually about me at all. I wanted to speak about different scenarios and topics that people are going through that I know. You know what I mean? I just kept it real simple. And I think
But that second verse,
I was able to explain that through that first verse, where it's like I wanted to touch multiple people and explain, like, I'm experiencing these things and it's just normal to me. Like, I really fuck around and need some therapy from all the things so that's what the first verse was about. And then the second verse, shout out to my brother Manny Dot, you know what I mean? Rest in peace to him.
that was him speaking to you, wasn't it?
Yeah, the perspective is from him speaking to me. He took his life in 2019 when he was locked up in George W. Hill out in the county. And I had conversations that are remnant of that conversation. That's why I was able to kind of depict it so well for people.
You put your foot in that, John, man.
Yeah, it's also like a highlight moment for me, because when I wrote it, I just knew. I was like, oh, I just hit a new level. Sometimes there are some raps that I make where it's like, oh shit, this is.
I played that song for my mom,
Yeah.
and she cried,
Yeah.
which is wild.
I ain't gonna admit to it, but it was
I
some
cried.
moments in that album.
Like, if you're really immersing yourself in the album, like, you're gonna go through the motions.
Yeah.
Right. Like, you
It's
really
relatable.
are. Yeah.
It's relatable. Like, even an experience that you may not have experienced, you may not have personally gone through, but I just painted it so well that you can feel it. And it's like, yeah, that's what art does. That's the language of art, where I can transfer my emotion to you through my form of art. You know
But
what
it's
I'm
not
saying?
just the words or the way you do it, which is dope. It's the attention to detail.
Yeah.
The water on the one track.
Yeah.
That's
Even
my.
the
That's my.
visuals,
I think
right?
that might be my favorite record.
Yeah,
that time I got robbed.
But like, it translates. Even the visuals. Like, it's
I've
not
never
just
been robbed in my life, by the way. I just want to put that out there for people that might
Just
be
so
saying
y'all
that.
in case
Yeah,
y'all
I've
feel
never-
like. But no, like, even the
It's
visuals.
just perspectives, man. It's all perspective. I've never done any robbing either. You know what I mean? I've never robbed anyone in my life.
No, man, that was definitely my favorite part. Like, I got a unique, perspective because I was able to be here through a lot. But like, when you listen to the project, like, you can see all the little, like, you understand why it took so long. Like, all the little details, all the little tweaks.
They would have still been mixing it though.
I
Right
know,
now, to this day, they would
I
still been mixing
understand,
it.
But when you listen to it, like, you can hear, all right, little things. Like, a lot of artists, I feel like, don't think about, like, when you say something and then there's an effect.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm
they
just gonna
don't-
rap over this beat and it's done. But you took the time to, like, okay.
They leave that to engineers and some people that, you know what I mean, producers or whatever, that put that kind of shit together, and then the producers take the credit for that. But, it's like, that's what makes, it's funny because we talked amongst the Crown Gold team, like, I'm an executive producer. Yeah. I'm not just a rapper. Like,
No, you be with Saeed
I
molding
literally
the
played every role for myself, and that's how I'm able to pick my team and define the roles that I need because I've done shit.
He plays
So,
the role to the point that sometimes, like me and Cece be like, bro, we got it.
Yeah, no bullshit.
Like, you don't have to worry.
And then sometimes I'll be like, no,
yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, let me do this thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
You be like, all right, man, all right, we just trying to help.
Yeah, no bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, because-
but I'm like, so all right, even if I let y'all help, when we get off the phone, my mind is like,
It's gotta get done.
fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, how is this? Like, all right, they gonna do it, but how is it about to get done?
And then
Like, so
they'll
I'm-
call me like 15. But it is funny because a couple times we had a whole conversation and then you would get off the phone and then you call me like 15 minutes later. Like,
Yeah.
you know what, Breeze? Actually,
Yeah.
I done thought about it real quick. And
No bullshit, cause like my mind, I'm on this shit every day, and I think that's the beauty. Somebody asked me at the Roots picnic, the other day. Damn, I forget her name. Shout out to her, man. She's from Philly. Fresh know her. I gotta talk to Fresh to find out what your name is. You know what I mean? She asked me how I felt to be a rapper, because we was backstage, or not backstage, we was in VIP, you know what I mean? Where everybody be at. Everybody that somebody be at.
everybody that was able to get in.
Yeah.
No, not every. You be in VIP.
Yeah, I be in a VIP. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to
He's
Black
so
Thought,
used to
man.
it.
That's my big brother, man. He blessed me with the opportunity, so you know what I mean. I always gotta give thanks to him. But she asked me, to get to the story, she asked me how it felt to be a rapper, and I was like, I'm living the dream that I had when I was a kid. And it's like, I wake up and do this shit every day. Where it's like,
You have to.
I got a life and shit I gotta handle as a man, as a grown up. And I'm gonna take care of that shit. But I'm also gonna dedicate my time to doing, like, I feel validated waking up every day doing this thing. You know what I'm saying?
lifestyle.
And I've
It
worked
really is.
all kinds of I've been worked in the restaurant, every position, from dishwasher to host to cook to. I worked in factories. I worked for a construction company. I know how to work some machines. Like, I worked in warehouses. I worked front desk shit. You know what I mean? Admin type, assistant type shit. I've done all kind. I've been a janitor. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've done so many jobs. Not to go too deep into my background, but I dropped out of high school. So, like, I've been working since I was in high school. You know what I mean? And I've been just collecting jobs. It's always been about the hustle and the money for me, like, growing up. Like, I think a lot of people grow up in Philly with that hustle, and now it's different. I have a purpose. You know what I'm saying? So if
Well,
I
that's
felt
good because you got to see all those different positions in all those different industries. You saw how the owners were probably there because they were probably all small businesses.
Exactly, and
you know, and how that was operated.
It helps me see.
And you probably saw good bosses and bad bosses.
Yeah, it
and
helps
how
me
to-
see down the line, like, or I get to look back on them that shit. And sometimes I was just a regular employee, just thinking about the money, and I'm like, oh, fuck this job, they don't treat me well. But now I see, it's like, oh no. I look at the shit like a machine. You need certain parts to run the machine well. Sometimes the machine might break down. That's why it needs maintenance, and you need somebody to maintain it. And it's like, you have to also know how to maintain that motherfucker. Even if you get somebody else to maintain it, it's like,
Yup.
that's how I think about. This shit is really just clocking in, going to work for me, but I get to do it from like the moment I wake up. I went to sleep watching a video. The Manager's Playbook.
I'm still in the middle of watching the second one that you sent.
There's an interview. Shout out to them.
Maybe like 2 hours long. I'll be trying to get through.
Yeah, I'll be watching them motherfuckers. Like, I didn't go to sleep until like 4 in the morning, and I fell asleep sideways laying on the pillow
watching the podcast.
watching the video. You know what I mean? And now I gotta rewatch it because I done slept through half of it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, because you be missing gems in them podcasts.
yeah, no, I scour the internet for that
That
shit.
shit that
Like,
you willing to do that a lot of people.
yeah,
Artists won't.
They won't even.
Yeah,
think
for
of it.
sure.
They just, I'm gonna just rap.
no, and I think I'm privileged because I'm to a point where I'm not trying to prove anything with my rap. Like, I've been validated more than what I needed. I was already cool before I got validated. now that I've been validated, it's like, all right, well,
I know I'm confident that I have this.
yeah, I
So
got
now
it.
it's
If
about-
it's just the rap part that I got to do, oh, that's in the bag. You know what I mean? That part is fine.
everything else
Because,
going in business.
like I said, when I started, I wasn't the greatest, but it turned into this. So if I'm here now, while I'm still developing, where am I going to be when the moment comes? You know, like when it's time for me to show up, when my name is called, where I'm going to be at that point. Like, that's why I was like, if the moment keeps, like, I think I was a little bit more impatient the first time I had reached out to you, and I met you with Imani, and, you know what I mean? Shout out to Imani Loren, man. But
You ain't seem impatient though. Like I read
but
our
no,
email exchanges.
But I know where my mindset was. I was a little bit more impatient then. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like, if the shit gets pushed back, it's like, oh, I get more time to be
Perfect
ready.
it.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I'm gonna be ready when my name get called, no matter what in what capacity that may be. You know
I
what
love
I'm saying? Like,
Success is opportunity plus preparation.
exactly, and that's why I just stay prepared. Like that's why I was like, fuck it. Like, you know what I mean? That's why it's like, I'm gonna practice with Drew today, even though we talking about months out.
It's gonna fly by.
That's
though.
what this takes.
But,
It's
yeah.
it's a,
It is
you
like,
know,
I want to
you
be
have make it
prepared for
muscle
that
memory.
moment. I want to be super
Right.
prepared for that moment, so that when people come to that show, they say, "Damn, I'm gonna come to every fucking show."
People gotta want to pay to see you perform.
Right.
And that's what a lot of artists
so you
don't
can only
understand.
fool people once.
Exactly.
You can only fool them once, and if they come out and see the truth,
Maybe twice.
you have to be. There has to be something crazy happening to make them come out
Exactly, yeah.
again twice. But 90% of the time, if they come out and they see the truth with their bare eyes, oh, you're kind of trash.
Yeah.
Guess who's never buying a ticket again? For
Well, there's a lot of artists paying to play shows, and I don't.
Then
I
you're
don't
gonna
think
be
they should
shooting
say
that
started
crowd
on
at a
that,
different.
right.
Then you're gonna be getting video footage of the crowd at a different angle to make it look like something
Right.
else. Like, you know what I mean? The different tricks and shit. You know what I'm saying? People do that, but like I'd rather cultivate my fan base that comes out, no matter how big or small it is. So I'm pouring into my garden so it can grow, and then as it grows into more shit, we do more shit. And you know, like I said, I do. Answer your question earlier, I do want to get signed. It's not that I don't want to. I just want to know.
It has to be
how
at the
to
right
sign.
moment.
How,
Definitely do it the right
what,
way.
who, what, when, where. All
It's
that
gotta
shit
be
matters.
right.
Like, all right, you ain't finna.
But we're making money in the meantime. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? That's what
yeah.
artists have to understand. It's like, if you want the better deal, you have to build.
I was about to say, in
leverage.
order for you to want to even sign me, like, to the labels, like, in order for you to sign, like, I sat down with some people and I'm like, you don't want me right now. I know you don't. Because you think, oh, this shit just worked right quick, so maybe we can pour some sauce on it and it's going to turn into something else. And it's like, if you pour that sauce and it don't work immediately, you going to move right the fuck on from me. Don't do that with me.
Right.
Let me just work on this because I'm actually on it. I'm actually developing and trying to make it something else. Let me just focus on that. I'm going to come holler at you later. We
Well,
might be able to
because
do business later. You know
As
what
an
I'm saying?
artist, because I know we're getting ready to wrap up real soon, but
Yeah.
like as an artist, you have to want to run a business. It goes
Yeah.
back to that at the end of the day, and it's just like with your credit score, right? The higher your credit, the better deals you're gonna get.
Right.
If you want to get a car, you got good credit, or a house, whatever. It's the same thing in music, right? If you
Yeah.
build your leverage is okay. I already have a fan base. I'm already dropping music consistently. I am already monetizing, right? I'm already getting paid to do some shows. I'm selling hard ticket sales, meaning I'm paying to see you, not like, you know, paying for a festival with a bunch of other artists on it. Like,
Yeah.
you have a movement. You know what I'm
And
saying?
then it gets
you're
interesting
selling merch.
because at a certain point, the business can be so successful by itself that then artists have to actually decide when actual label deals start coming in. Do I actually want this? Because
I
I'm
want
about to give
everything that
away
comes
so
with
much of
this?
my control when my little
Yeah.
business, my
You
small
gotta be at the
business
point where you
chugging
need to scale.
Right, you have to need to scale, or otherwise, if you're chill at a certain, because there are different levels of success, and nothing's more correct than another. Whether if you're selling out 20,000 seats a night, or 300 a night, that's still
That's still
success.
success.
Still success.
But if you're planning on being the sort of artist where you're consistently selling a couple hundred seats a night, fuck getting signed. You know, you're making
on,
a
just
good
make the money.
You're
Yeah.
making a good, like, imagine you're selling, 300 seats a night. They're each $40-$50 each.
That's a decent.
That's a
yeah, that's a
decent,
bag.
and you're doing that, 100 or 100 to 150 nights a year. You don't need to.
You
don't
now
need
Now
to be
you're
signed.
running a legit
You
business
don't
at
need
that
to be
point.
signed by anybody.
Yeah.
But
You gotta
if
look
your
at it
deal is
like-
that you're trying to scale to something bigger, but you need to do it in a way that they're not going to treat you like a Kleenex.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Because that's what they want to
Yeah.
do.
Most
Exactly.
artists really at the end of the day just want to make a living making
Right.
music, right?
Yeah.
You can make a living making music without signing to a label.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
People do it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like you have to really see what success means to
Right,
you.
and you have
as
to weigh
an
the pros
artist.
and cons, because just because they're dangling this contract, you might say you really weigh your options and the money and the control and the this and the that. You
Yeah,
might
'cause you
say
don't wanna
you
s-
might say no. Mm-hmm. You might say no.
It's all about being informed. Either
It's
way.
all about being informed and what your long term goals are.
Yeah,
You know?
when you wandering and you lost and you kind of misdirected and misguided, you know what I mean, and you really can only be misdirected and misguided when you
And you're only looking
not
at the short
sure
term.
yourself.
That's
know
how
what I'm
people
saying?
sign away their publishing contracts by accident.
and creative control and their
Right.
names and all types
Uh-huh.
of shit, man.
Yeah.
Like just because they're thirsty to sign a deal.
Now, if
Right.
you in a
And
position where it's like, all right, well, I need to scale, and I can now, I understand what the value of what I'm giving
And I
up is,
understand the
and now I can
roles.
ask for what I need in order to give this up to scale to whatever
And
level I
honestly,
need
that
to
looks
get to.
more like more of an
It's a more of a business partner
of an
at that
investment
point. Yeah, now,
than anything
'cause-
then. Because at the same time, what the labels used to have was access to scarcity. There used to be a scarcity, especially of distribution. You
Yeah,
could only
for sure.
distribute through their connections, which were radio, and then they
Even
knew
studios,
and
back in the
also
day.
and then the record stores. The internet blew that wide open, so distribution ain't really a
It's
thing.
something
Like, you know what I mean?
250 songs drop a day on
250,000.
Spotify.
1,000.
No, so Amir, appreciate you, love you. We're gonna take this shit to the moon.
Yeah, for sure, man. And this is just the first of many conversations. You know, we can sit here for hours. You know what I mean? We've had these conversations before, so it's natural for us. And I think, I appreciate y'all for accepting me into y'all family. You know what I mean? And
Likewise, man.
making the integration seamless between the two teams and the rest of the people and the external pieces that we continue to add. And yeah, like let's just let's figure out how to make the machine work. You know what I'm saying? So I'm on it as long as y'all on it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
And
man, we in this shit.
yeah, let's keep kicking ass. You know what I'm saying? No, thank y'all, man.
Let's get it.
TC Crown Gold.
You already know.